Welcome to DVCOM technology. In this video, I am going to demonstrate the Vigor2962. So we are going to talk about the technical overview. Then after that, we are going to see how to upgrade the latest firmware in Vigor2962. This is what I am going to discuss about it. And let's go and access the Vigor2962 with the default IP, which is 192.168.1.1, and the default username is admin and default password is admin. Let's open my browser and type the IP address as 192.168.1.1. So the default username is admin and the default password is admin. Say login. So when you log in at first time, you are going to get a warning. So the warning is saying that your router is still set to default password. You should change it via the system maintenance menu. So by default, the username is admin and the password is admin. So in case if you want to change the default username and password, the password, you can directly jump into the system maintenance. Then after that, you can see here there is an administrator password. So you just specify the old password and you can create a new password according to your requirement. Make sure that your password has minimum 10 to 15 characters and it should not be guessed by other people. So you should be careful about that part. And second thing is that if you see here on the dashboard, by default in the dashboard you can able to see here what are the ports which are active at the moment. So right now if you see, there is a port number 6 which is connected my PCs directly. And by the way, this port number 5 and port number 6 dedicatedly they are going to use it for the LAN. And again there is a WAN 1 port which we can call it as a P1, which is going to support 2.5 Gbps. It's a multi-gig port. And WAN 2 port, it's going to support either SFP or it's going to use the Ethernet. So it's a combo port. Either you can use the SFP, it's a 1 gig SFP actually, and either you can able to use fiber or you can use the copper. And again these ports is that you can able to create for multiple LAN interfaces in case if you want to use it for one of the port for the DMZ and one of the port that you want to use it for different purposes, you can able to do that as well. So this is what the overview about it. And one more thing is that if you see here there is a reset button over there. So in case if you want to reset your device, you just hold it for 15 seconds, then automatically the device will get the reset. And by the way, before you are going to do the reset, make sure that you have to take the backup of your device. In case if you forgot to take the backup, then you are going to lose all your configurations. Keep in your mind, guys. Then after that, there is a 2 USB ports over there. So the first one is USB 1 and second one is the USB 2. So in case if you want to connect to the USB, you can able to connect it as well. So that's how it's going to be. So now the second thing is that, guys, what I'm trying to talk about, if you see here there is a system information, you can able to see here on your dashboard what is the model of your router and what's the name of the router and what's the firmware version and what's the MAC address and what's your system current uptime and what is the current time. You can able to see it here. But as you know that if you are going through my previous videos and all, you can see it how the DrayTek router is going to configure, how to change your date and time, and these things you can able to see it and you can able to do it by yourself. But in this video mainly I'm going to focus about the technical overview about Vigor2962. And the next one is that this is the very important, guys. By seeing the dashboard you can able to understand exactly which interfaces are up and running and what IP address is configured. You can able to see it. Now I just want to the auto logout, I just want to make it as a off. Otherwise what will happen, if your device is idle for a few minutes, then automatically it get logged out. So to avoid that, you just make it auto logout is off. Then after that, if you don't know, if you are not much familiar about DrayTek, just use the wizard and you can configure it. And clicking on the online status, you can able to see here the physical connections. So right now the LAN status is showing that it got the IP address which is 192.168.1.1. and you can able to see the TX and RX packets, and you can able to see the primary DNS and secondary DNS. Yep. And in case if you go to the port setup here, guys, so as I told you that the P1 I can able to use it for the LAN or I can able to use it for WAN. By the way, this is the gateway which is going to support up to 2 WAN connections. And similarly, if you go with the P2, you can able to do the same. You can able to use it for the LAN or you can able to use it for WAN. And if you see here, as I told you earlier, the P2 is the combo port. Either you can use the fiber or you can use the copper. And you can just set it up whether you want to the primary interface, your Ethernet or your SF, you can do that. So these are the ports is dedicatedly you can use it for the LAN. Then after this you can go here on the WAN. So in the WAN usually the general setup. So through the general setup what you are going to do now, you can able to see here whether you want to enable or disable your WAN. So the WAN 1 and WAN 2. See here the WAN 1 interface which is mapping to P1 interface. So WAN 1 is nothing but that's your P1 and WAN 2 is nothing but that's your P2 guys. So the P1 and P2 interfaces, so right now you are going to enable it for the WAN. So you can able to terminate 2 internet connections directly on this device. So the next thing is that let's go to the internet access. So in the internet access, so most of the time you can able to get the from your service provider either static or dynamic or PPPoE connection guys. So for example, if you see here, let's say I just selected as a PPPoE. So in case if your service provider has provided the internet connection as a PPPoE, you can select PPPoE, then after that click on the details page and you just specify the username and password, make sure that you enable this. Then after that you can simply click OK. Then after that, in case your service provider is provided as a static or dynamic, you can simply select that. Then after that go to the details page and you can specify whatever IP address, subnet mask and default gateway they provided to you. So this is how you are going to configure your internet connection. Then after this there is a LAN. In the LAN zone, if you see here, there is almost you can able to configure it guys. There is 20 VLANs you can able to configure it if you see that. And by the way, you can just go to the VLANs. And if you want to tag to the 20 VLANs, you can able to tag it. It's going to start from 0 to 19. So in case if you want to keep each and every interface into the different VLAN, you can able to do that as well. That is, we can call it as a port based VLAN, or if you want to tag multiple VLANs with a single interface, you can able to do it as well. So you simply just enable the port, then after that you can specify the VLAN ID, then you can able to do it. In case if you want to do a bind IP to MAC, you can, if you want to bind your IP address with the MAC, you can able to reserve it. Especially some of your managers, they want to get the same IP address, so you can able to take their MAC address and you can bind with the IP address. So if you want to configure the hotspot, you can able to configure it here. And by the way, if you see here, you can able to configure 4 different type of profiles. So the first one is that what we are going to support here. So there is a skip login on landing page, there is a click through and various hotspot logins. What are those? So you can see here it's going to support your Facebook, it's going to support your Google, and if you want to receive a pin via SMS, and you can just get the SMS service provider and you can just configure it in your appliance. Then after that, if you want to use the radius, you can able to use it as well. And in case if you have external portal server, you can able to use that as well. So these are the methods which we are going to support. And by the way, we are going to support up to 4 profiles you can able to configure, which is related to your hotspot. Then after that, if you go to the routing, we are going to support the static routing, or in case if you want to do the policy based routing. This is very important feature guys. In case if you have multiple internet connections, or if you want to route certain traffic through your VPN, then you can able to do that as well. So for that you can define the rule according to your requirement. So, and again you can configure OSPF, you can configure the BGP as per your requirement. So the routing, we are going to support most of the protocols, the open standard protocols, we are going to support it guys. Then if you want to configure the NAT, again in the NAT there is a port redirection, DMG host, open ports, port triggering, and application layer gateway. If you want to, you can configure it as well. So the firewalls, you can configure again according to your requirement. You can configure your firewall rules. So you can, if you want to configure IP based, you can able to do that as well. Or in case if you want to configure and if you enable some CSM, content security management features, like if you see there is application enforcement and URL content filtering, web content filtering, DNS filtering. If you want to configure, you just create the profile, then after that you just go to your firewall rules, then after that go to the filter setup, then click on your data filter, then after that you can see here you can create the rule, and whatever profiles you created there, you just add those profiles here. Then you can able to specify the direction, so which direction you want to apply the rules, so you can able to define that as well. So the DrayTek router, it has going to support all your content security management features. So that is the beauty of your DrayTek guys. So then in case the user management, if you want to create a multiple users, you can able to create it. So basically the user profiles that we are going to create, in case if you are expecting to configure PPPoE server. So for example, if you are define your DrayTek router as a PPPoE server, and you want to provide the internet services to all your building, like multiple apartments are there in the building, and for each and every apartment, if you want to create one username and password, and all their people, when they are trying to access the internet, they need to specify the username and password which is created in your DrayTek router, and through your DrayTek router you can route your traffic to outside, so that you can able to create like a mini ISP. If you want to create a mini ISP stuff, you can able to do that as well. So again, the object settings, if you want to create a IP based object, if you want to create a service based object, or if you want to create a keywords, or if you want to create a country based object, or if you want to add SMS gateway, you can able to do it from here. So it's very easy and straightforward, guys. Send those objects wherever you want, you can able to use it. While you are going to create the firewall rules, you can use it those objects. Then again, as I discussed with you, CSM, the content security management. By the way, I just want to mention a very important thing. The web content filter is required a license for you guys. So make sure that you should have a license for it. And the next one is that the bandwidth management. So in case if you want to define the bandwidth management, either session based or bandwidth limit. So this is one of the beautiful feature, guys. In case if you want to restrict based on the IP address, you can able to do that as well. So let's say that you are going to provide that for each user, like if you see that there is a 2000 kbps, your TX, and RX will be your 8000 kbps. So the TX is indicating that it's like a uploading, and RX is going to indicating that it's like a downloading, guys. So you can able to define how much bandwidth you are going to specify for each and every IP. And in case if you want to define the quality of service, you can able to define the quality of service. So in case if you want to define the app QoS, you can able to define, for example, if you want to specify higher priority to the specific applications, you can able to do it as well. So this is what exactly how you are going to define your bandwidth management. Then after that, you can see here there is some applications like dynamic DNS. So in case if you want to enable the dynamic DNS, you can able to enable it as well. But before you are going to configure the dynamic DNS, make sure that if you see here, there is a product registration in the down. So just click on the product registration. In case if you don't have an account from DrayTek, just create an account and add this device into your DrayTek support portal, or after that you can register your appliance. Once you register your appliance, there you can able to enable your DNS. And in case if you want to test these features like a application content or URL or web filter, you can able to test it as well. You can able to enable it. So that's the beauty of this. And in case if you want to add your radius or TechAx, you can able to add it. In case if you want to create a schedules, you can able to do that as well. So in case, as I told you, that if you want to add your SMS services, you can able to add it as well. So if you see there is a SMS alert, you just specify there who is your SMS provider, you just get their details and you can provide it. So that's the beauty of this one. And also by default, this device is going to support high availability. So either if you want to configure hot standby or active standby, the choice is yours, guys. So you can configure high availability, especially some of the organizations. It's very important that they must have the another appliance. So the primary appliance and secondary appliance. In case if primary appliance is down, all the traffic will pass through your secondary appliance. Then again, you can configure the different kind of VPNs. So in case if you want to configure site-to-site VPN, we can call it as a LAN-to-LAN VPN. So just click on this and it's going to support up to 200 VPN tunnels, guys. That's the beauty of this Vigor2962. So just click on index number 1. Then after that, you can choose what is the protocols that you are going to use. By the way, you can see there is a dial in and dial out. So dial in is nothing but it's like a server, VPN server. Dial out is nothing but it's a VPN client. So in the DrayTek, you can choose if you want to make it one of the site, your HQ site, as a dial in, and you can make it as a dial in. So it's going to act as a VPN server. So the dial out is nothing but it's like a VPN client. And if you want to configure a GRE tunnel, you can able to configure it as well, guys. This is one of the beautiful features. Within few clicks, you can configure your phase 1 and phase 2 parameters. Even if you want to establish a VPN connection through PPTP or IPsec or L2TP or SSL, within few clicks you can able to do it, guys. That's the beauty of the DrayTek. So In case if you want to configure remote dial in VPN, so especially the remote dial in VPN for who is going to travel, the mobility users, the frequently they are traveling, your sales team, they are frequently traveling from one place to another place, still they want to access the resources from your head office. So that time you are going to configure the remote dial in. Then after that you are going to install the smart VPN client in their mobile phones or in the desktop or laptop, that you are going to install it, and you are going to provide the username and password. So through the smart VPN client they can able to access the resources from outside. Then the certificate management, guys, in case if you want to, by default it has inbuilt trusted certificate is there. In case if you want to add the certificate, you can able to add it as well. So that's the beauty of the DrayTek, guys. So by the way, there is a let's encrypt certificate. If you want to show it here, this is the public related certificate, guys. So if you want, you can enable that let's encrypt. So once you enable your DrayDNS, there you can able to see that option. So you can able to do that as well. Yeah, and SSL VPN if you want to configure it here. So, and you can, if you want to change the port number. So since you know you are trying to access your firewall, your DrayTek router through HTTPS, so it's going to use the similar port. So if you want to change to avoid the conflict, you can able to do that as well. And if you want to change your server certificate, you can do that as well. So SSL especially, it's going to enable the secured communications between your host to the your internal resources. So the USB applications, guys, in case if you want to use it for your USB file explorer, like if you want to configure like a mini FTP and all, you can able to do it as well. So that's the beauty of that. Then after that, as right now I have not connected, that's why it's showing that no disk is connected. Thus through system maintenance is one of the very important window. So in case if you want to know the system status, you can able to see from here. Or in case if you want to enable the TR69 protocol. So nowadays most of the time people, they likes to go for the cloud based management, guys. So especially in the DrayTek, there is a ACS service is there, access control server. So through ACS server you can able to access your appliance like your Vigor routers, Vigor switches and Vigor access point from the single dashboard from anywhere in the world. So make sure that you need to take the subscription from ACS, and you can just add your appliances, whatever devices you are going to have in your network, the DrayTek devices, you can add it in ACS server. After that you can go and check it, you can able to see the analytics, you can able to do the management, you can able to do the configurations, and whatever you want to do it, you can able to do it through remotely. So it just require the ACS service and you just need the internet connection. You can go on in anywhere in the world, you can able to access the device. That's the beauty of the ACS server. So that's why most of the time, especially whenever you purchase a Vigor router or Vigor switches or Vigor access points, we recommend to go with the ACS, so that your administrator, if he is traveling from one place to another place, simply you just send a message to him through WhatsApp, or you drop an email to him, or you just update him over the call, just tell him that we are expecting to certain changes. So in the olden days, what we are going to do, we are going to provide the any desk, or we are going to provide some kind of remote tool to access your appliance. So instead of that, if you add all your devices into ACS, so simply your administrator can access from anywhere. After that, he can do the changes according to your company requirements. That's the beauty of that one, guys. So then after that, if you want to take the backup, you can take the backup from here. If you want to change the password, you can change the password from here. If you want to add the syslog information, you can able to add it from here. If you want to configure your mail alert, you can able to do it as well. So in case if you want to change your time and date according to your country, you can able to choose your time zone. So by the way, the time server is pool.ntp.org, which is a global NTP server. So the time is going to getting changed according to your time zone. So in case if you have a local NTP server, you can just provide it. Make sure that your appliance has to be communicate your local NTP server. Then after that, there is a Snmp protocol, which is going to send your traps. If you want to enable Snmp, you can do that as well. This is the management. By default, you can able to see here which port is going to use to access HTTP, HTTPS or FTP. These are the default ports, and if you want to change these ports, you can able to change according to your requirement. If you want to change your router name, you can able to do it as well. So if you want to do the factory reset, or if you want to reboot the router, you can able to do it. So in case if you want to upgrade the firmware, you can able to do it as well. By the way, if you want to download the firmware, guys, you don't require any support contract or anything. Just you can open the DrayTek site, www.draytek.com. Then after that you simply visit to the DrayTek website, then you can go to the support, and in the support you can see here there is the latest firmwares, or you can select the DrayTek FTP. So just select the latest firmwares. Then after that, let's click continue. Then after that you can just type here what is the model that you are going to use, 2962. Okay, then after that it will show it to you the updated, available the latest firmwares here. So right now if you see here, it was released in 27.4 and this is one was released in 25. So this is the latest firmware, guys. You just click on the download and you can download it. If you want to read the release notes, just click on release notes. You can able to do it as well. You can read it as well. See here what are the changes they made it, and everything, what type of updates you want to see it, you can able to see it. Yeah, so it's always recommends that before you are going to upgrade the firmware, just have a look, so that you can able to get a complete idea, guys, what are the new changes they added. So that's the beauty of the DrayTek, guys. Then after that you can able to see the NAT sessions. So by default it's selected as a 150,000 as the NAT sessions, or in case if you want to change it to 300, you can able to change it as well. And diagnostics, guys, this is for troubleshooting especially. So in case if you want to see the DHCP table, who has taken which IP address and all, you can able to see it from there. Then in case if you want to see the routing table, you can able to see it here. Right now I have connected only my PC, so I can able to see only the default network, which is 192.168.1. In case if you want to see the NAT sessions, you can able to see it. Right now I'm not able to access any internet or anything. Or if you want to do a ping diagnosis, you can able to do it as well. If you want to do a trace, you can able to do it as well. If you want to do a syslog explorer, guys, so if you want to check the logs, either if you want to store in the USB or if you want to enable, just click on enable. Then after that you can able to select the type of the logs that you want to see. So this is what exactly, if you want to see the HA status, you can able to see it as well. So this is the technical overview about Vigor2962, guys. This is the one of the beauty, and especially if you go with the SMB and SME customers, they are going to fulfill all their requirement through your Vigor2962. And by the way, if you see on the top, if you want to save this, you can able to take the backup of this configuration, and same time if you want to connect through your web console, you can able to connect through as well. And also if you want to log out from here, you just click on the logout and you can log out from there. So by the way, I just want to show you to upgrade the firmware, guys. So to upgrade the firmware, just click on the system maintenance. Then after that you can see here there is a firmware upgrade. Then right now it's a 3.9.7. so just click on the check the latest firmware in case if your appliance is connected to the internet. So right now I have not connected to the internet, so already I downloaded from the DrayTek website. So just click on the browse. Then after that go to the desktop. In the desktop, if you see here, there is a DrayTek firmware. So by default you can able to get the zip file, guys, whenever you download it, and you need to unzip. Then once you unzip that, you can able to see this file. So just select that file. There is a .all. So all is nothing but, it's very important, guys, sometimes you are going to get .rst. So rst is nothing but the reset. So the device is going to reset it. After that it's going to upload the latest firmware. So you're going to lose the configurations. But whenever you select the .all file, it doesn't reset the appliance, it just upgrade the firmware. Yeah, the latest firmware is going to upgrade, and it's going to keep all your configurations as it is. So now I'm just say open. Then after that I can click on upgrade. Then warning, please keep the power and network connection stable during the firmware upgrade. Keep remember that, guys. Say okay. Now you can see there the firmware upgrade is in progress. It must not be interrupted. So that's very important. So I'm not going to pause this video, guys. Just have a look at how much time it's going to take to upgrade the firmware. So it's prompting me to restart. If you see there, congratulations, firmware file has been uploaded successfully. Please click restart to apply the updated settings. So I just want to restart now. Say okay. I just want to open my terminal and I just want to type my default IP so that I can see it, what's going on. Okay. So Let's see how much time is going to take it, guys. I'm sure that it's going to take 40 seconds. Yeah, they clearly mentioned the router is restarting. Please wait for around 40 seconds. After booting router, you could click on the following URL. Yeah, so just wait for few seconds, guys, then it's going to come back. So it's come back, guys. So now what I'm going to do now, let's stop this ping. So I just want to refresh it. Yes, I just come back, and this is my new version, guys. Oh, I have a choice to select the language as well. Thank you so much, DrayTek. Wow, now you can able to see this one, guys. So this is what the latest the firmware from the DrayTek. So for more videos, please subscribe our YouTube channel, and you just go to the YouTube and type DVCOM technology, and you can just type DrayTek. Then you can able to see all the videos which is related to the DrayTek. Then if you have any related, like if you need any support, or if you have any queries related to the sales, please send us an email, sales@datavoice.com. For support, please send us an email, support@datavoice.com. Thank you for watching this video.